It's no secret the real estate market is shifting from an insanely competitive seller's market to something a little bit more reasonable. And avoiding these three common mistakes when selling will help you net the most amount of money when you sell your house. What's going on, everyone? My name is Garrett Kirby, a local real estate agent here to the West Michigan area. Remember, real estate is local. Here, we're going to be talking mainly about West Michigan and the market and what we are seeing for our sellers. We're going to jump right into it here as usual. Tip number one, make sure you avoid listing your house too high. When inventory is beginning to start to rise, sellers and buyers are going to have to be a little bit more stringent when they are either selling or buying a house. So when you're selling a house and you list it too high, buyers are going to have a few more houses to choose from, and they may not be interested in yours simply because it is priced too high. Whereas over the last couple of years, you could throw pretty much any sales price onto a house and you'd have multiple offers over asking, waived inspections, throwing a third-born kid and a boat, and then you'd be able to sell the house. When you are listing your house nowadays, you want to make sure that we are listing it very, very, very close to comps. If that house is sitting on the market for over 2 weeks, potentially interested buyers are going to look at that and think that there are some red flags with the house, when all it could be is just simply the asking price being too high. You would much rather try to garner some competition up front right when you list it and create a sense of urgency for buyers than try to chase the market down in sales prices. So you don't want to list your $400,000 house for $450 and think, we'll see what happens. And then after 2 weeks and nobody's seen the house, you start dropping the price a little bit. That window of opportunity for potential buyers to see it right when it hits the open market is going to create a sense of urgency and make them want to pursue your house while it's fresh on their mind, fresh in the market. And if it sits on the market longer, buyers are going to think there's something potentially wrong with it. Tip number two is to make sure when you are selling your house, you do not have a ton of smelly items in the house. Now, we're not talking smelly in terms of gross smells. We're talking candles, perfumes, anything of the sort that could be potentially used as a cover scent. Now, there is absolutely no issues with trying to make your house smell clean with lighting a few candles here and there. We are just trying to avoid any overpowering smells, because the first thing a buyer is going to think when they walk into your house and they smell, basically a bottle of perfume in their face is that you are trying to cover up some smell in the house that is going to linger for them when they purchase their house. I know that this doesn't seem like an issue, but it is something you want to avoid when you are showing your house to potential buyers. And third and final tip here for our quick tips to avoid is to make sure that if you have a vacant house, you heavily consider either getting that virtually staged or physically staged. When a buyer goes through your house, it may seem obvious to you how the house should be set up, but buyers sometimes will have trouble envisioning how that house should be set up. So setting up via staging with, potentially a sofa, rug, end tables, dining tables, and all of that could potentially help sell your house to that potential buyer because they actually have the ability to see how the house is laid out. Now, there is great options in virtual staging as well, so that when a buyer is physically looking at the house in person, they can then go back to that virtually staged listing photo and kind of cross-reference that as to how they physically saw the house and think, okay, maybe we won't have our dining table there like they do in this listing photo. Maybe they will have it somewhere else. Or maybe they'll position their entertainment center a little differently in the living room. The possibilities are endless, but at the end of the day, our goal when selling your house is to make sure you get the most money possible. Avoiding these three mistakes will definitely help you in that goal of selling your house for the most amount of money. Garrett Kirby, RE, for any and all Michigan real estate questions. I am happy to help in any way I can. Feel free to drop a subscribe down below. Feel free to leave a like and let me know in the comments what you guys want to see next. We're going to change up our schedule here. We're going to go Tuesday, Thursday for videos as we go forward, creating value for you and ultimately helping you buy and sell in Michigan. GarrettKirbyRE.com. We'll see you guys in the next one.